from the film 50 Dead Men Walking for Acted by magazine.
Alright, so we're interviewing for 50 Dead Men Walking.
Yes.
So first you want to tell me about your role.
It's basically the story of this young kid in Belfast in the 80s who is sort of in the midst of the troubles, and his friend, who's my character, is sort of trying to pull him into the IRA, and then sort of through a series of events starts working for the British government as an informant. I've always liked doing, or like the idea at least, of myself playing characters that are not really much like me. It's, I guess, sort of the unfortunate part of the business, potentially now more than ever, is everyone wants you to sort of just do the sort of appropriate thing, or whatever it is that you look like you should be like. So I think the hope was always to sort of be able to do more jobs like that, because they're, to be totally honest, just more fun. It's just always more fun to be able to make a character out of nothing rather than sort of pulling some of.
Oh yeah, it's like escaping from your own reality and stepping into other shoes. Yeah. And
you can't. Well, at least I couldn't bring any of my own stuff, because there was nothing about me that was similar to this guy. So it sort of all becomes make believe and all becomes fun, which is, you know, what's so cool about this job.
So you finished this project.
Yep.
And you want to talk about a few of your others coming up?
Well, I'm gonna do the story of Bonnie and Clyde. You know, obviously it's a very famous, very amazing movie, but the real thing that interested me about the whole thing was like, why does this woman who has no vested interest other than loving this man sort of go on all this and do all this stuff and sort of put herself in a position to inevitably, where she inevitably dies? That for me was kind of what was sort of left to be explored. That's what interested me about it. So it's more of a
Natural Born Killers.
It's like Natural Born Killers meets The Notebook.
Love it.
Yeah, but it's very. There's a lot of twisted shit that goes on.
Yeah, I like that a lot.
Because there's no need to make that movie unless you're going to make it different and in certain ways better. I just did finish this movie in Utah called Frozen, which it's basically these three people who get stranded on a chairlift for a whole weekend.
Oh my god.
So it's just kind of
that's cool.
Yeah, so that'll come out next year. We shot that in Utah on a chairlift for a couple of months, which was fun.
And is it, I mean, tell me about your character. Is it literally like open water where they're just stuck there?
Yeah, we get stuck up to like 100 feet halfway up the mountain. And then it's sort of like kind of funny because it's happened to everyone who's been in it. And it's a little creepy, but as like 10 minutes turns into hours, turns into days of like these people starving and freezing to death. It sort of becomes like a pretty gnarly
I love
movie.
Those stories, because those are things that can really happen. Those are the things that you think about. God, what if that happened? That would be awful.
And it sounds like a horror. It's a disgusting, like, it's almost like a document. It's shot very like a documentary, like faces falling off, and then it becomes like a dramatic story about people just about to die. So it should be great. So
how did you get into acting? How did you know you wanted to do this?
My furthest memory back, I've just always gone to set, and like I remember seeing the cameras and stuff, and so that was always which is a good thing. It's also a terrible thing. There's just habits that are formed, I guess. And you're also inevitably, there's the old child actor curse of things. I moved here anyway. I finished high school and then kind of just tried to figure out whether I was even capable of being a good actor or whatever. So, and then tried meeting on some things that were interesting to me, movies that I like, movies like Transamerica or whatever.
That was a great movie.
Thank you. But not necessarily things that, again, people would necessarily say that's the kind of movie that he would do.
Well, do you want to do anything else someday, like besides acting? Maybe directing or writing? Or...
Yeah, I'll probably have like 10 years of this acting stuff in me, and then I think I probably want to direct.
Who do you admire the most? What about an actor that transitioned into it?
I think Ben Affleck's a great director. I think he's got a great sense of putting a story together, which I think is hard for an actor because we're so, and unfortunately, have to be very selfishly focused when we shoot a movie because it sort of has to be all about us, for us at least. And then, so I think transitioning is a hard thing, but I think he's an amazing director. But my whole thing now is kind of try to see how good I can get. And Felicity Huffman actually told me this when we were working together. She's like, you're never good enough. From the time you start to the time you finish, which is why...
That's like the curse of an artist. You never think you're good enough.
Well, you never think you're good enough, and the second that you start thinking you are, it means you're probably on your way down, and you're probably 6 months away from ever working again.
Right.
So